So how was your trip?
It was great. Thank
Fantastic.
you. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Mm-hmm.
So look, I wanted to talk to you about something today.
Okay.
So we've been dating for 6 months
Yes.
and a little bit of long distance dating. I don't see you as often as I'd like, right? We've been talking about moving in together. I'm thinking we could do that and really focus on our relationship so we can get focused on that next move, which would be ultimately marriage and creating our own family together. You know what I mean? I just wanted to see what you thought about that, just moving forward in our relationship.
I'm actually really in that same headspace. It makes me happy to hear that we're on the same page.
Good.
I'm excited.
So I'm talking about doing this, making this move anywhere between the next month or so. I don't know if you're to where you can get out of your lease. I know as of right now you're covering all of your own personal bills and everything that from that. I don't know how soon you can get out of your lease or whatever. I'm hoping that you can move in with me, get a little closer to me.
Okay.
And of course you'll be bringing your child. And I believe living with me would actually help you out a lot financially as well, because right now you're covering all those bills. And with me, I would only ask that you cover, a percentage of the rent.
A percentage?
Sure, a percentage of the rent. Well, think about it, you're paying all your bills now, so you're paying all of your rent, you're paying your lights, you're paying your water, you're paying for your food bill, all that. What I would require is just a portion of the rent.
Okay.
Of the living expenses.
Now, I'm not trying to offend, but I kind of took you for the chivalrous, I provide kind of guy.
Sure. I am that type of guy. Very traditional. Want to be very traditional, but that's typically if I'm getting into a relationship with a traditional type person. Then that you already do have a child. I don't have a child. I know that you and the father work well together to take care of your child, but that won't be my child. So I won't really truly be able to raise that child in the way I would like to. On my program, being it's not my child, I know you wouldn't allow that because you're already raising your child. And if we don't work out, then I know you're going to take your child with you. So I don't want to be sparing all the expenses for your child before we get married. Right now I want to move in. I want you to move in with me so we can really focus on our relationship. But I want you to handle the financial burden or toll of your child, if that makes sense to you.
Now, I guess I'm just a little taken back by it. Now, I'm not going to say that, I guess there are people that feel the same, I would imagine. But I had my child young, and you already know that. And I wasn't careless after I had my child. And she's a good kid, beyond a good kid. Not to mention, I know I am a good woman. So to think that me having that child young and changing my life would, in a sense, devalue me to where now, because of my daughter, I'm expected to contribute a portion as opposed to if she wasn't here.
Sure, I can completely understand that. I guess, and I understand all of that too. Your child is not a bad thing that's happened to you. It's probably one of the most amazing things that's happened to you.
Absolutely.
And obviously to the child's father as well. You said you guys take good care of the child.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I respect that. Young, when you had the child. Other than that, you are very traditional. You have really been celibate and all that kind of stuff. So that's all amazing. I definitely see value in you. But you have to think, for me as a man, I'm trying to build something here, and up until this point, I haven't actually gotten to meet your beautiful child. And I know that it's because you don't want just men meeting your child until it's serious. And that's all respect. And I know that if you move in, I'll obviously get to the child, and I'll be a great father figure to your child, willing to do that, absolutely. But I'm saying in the beginning, I want to until we get married, I want you to cover that portion, because if it does not work out and we don't get to make it to marriage, I don't want to have invested my funds into a child that's not mine. So just try and think of it from a man's point of view. Is your child is a beautiful child, I'm sure of it, a great child, I'm sure of it, but it's not my child, it's your child. And I'll definitely be there to guide your child, or be whoever I need to be in your child's life if you move in with me. But if we get married, of course, I'm accepting your child as my own, and that's what marriage would mean. But until then, I want to be able to still stack my funds and use them towards my plan and goals in life. And if you didn't have a child now, then yeah, absolutely, you would be able to come in and I would cover all expenses. But because you don't have a child, then we have to. I would prefer you to be responsible for that burden. I'm sure now you still probably get help from that husband. I mean, from the guy you had the child with. I'm sure, because you said he helps out with your child. So I'm sure he'll be still providing you financial aid. And consider this: you'll be living with me, so you won't have all those bills that you did have, and you'll still be requiring him to give you what you're expecting from him. So if I do that too, then you essentially have two men taking care of your child. He's going to always be their father, while I may not always be. I'm very interested in you. I want to take this seriously with you, but that's just how that's how I want to move going into this. I'm hoping that you can understand that.
Okay, so let's say this is
one more thing. And think about this. I'll have to share you with him. Okay, like he'll you said you guys meet up twice a month to spend time with your child. That's not something typically I would normally deal with, a woman having a male person outside of me, but I know that's your child's father, and he's going to be in your life, and so I have to share you with him. While it may not be intimate, I have to share you with him. And also your child, I have to share you with your child. When your child needs you, I won't be able to have you. That's not my child that you will be going to the aid of. That'll be your child. You see what I'm saying? So I won't. While I see value in you, I don't get all of you as I would get with a woman who did not have any children. And we can have our own child together and have our own program together. But right now, we can't move and travel the world like we'd like to without you consulting with their father, which respect. I absolutely understand that. You see what I'm saying? But because you are bringing a child into this relationship, that responsibility, I believe that you should carry to cover those expenses. I'm not asking you to pay, the water bill and things like that, but I'm just saying cover the living expense of your child, what it would be like for room and board, so to speak.
I have to admit, my mind is like going everywhere on just taking it in. Now you say this is to work your way up to marriage.
Sure.
What is your idea of a decent time frame before you are convinced that this is somebody that you want to marry? Because coming from my position, even though all of the risk that you say, it makes sense, there's a substantial amount of risk that I'm taking. And even more so because I have a child. So I am introducing you to my child. I am bringing my child into your life for you now to be an influence on my child.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Did you need anything?
I don't think so. Thank you.
And hopefully taking your last name and then some. And while I can understand all of the risks, I guess I don't understand how me uprooting not only myself but my child should simultaneously cost me.
See, I see it as a game because you are going to save so much in your income. But at the same time, I do understand what you're saying. We are, going to be intimate, and we're not technically married. And you, that's another body count. Things of that nature. What I will say is this: because I'm so serious about you, if you were to get pregnant during that time, I would want to go ahead and move to marriage before our baby got here, because I'm very traditional. However, if you did not get pregnant, everything goes well, I would like to marry inside of at least about 6 to 8 months. So I don't believe it takes a man a long time to find a good wife, to find a woman to spend the rest of his life with. I truly already believe. I'm not saying it can't be sooner. You know what I mean? I definitely want you to feel secure. I want you to know that you're going to have what you need. You know what I mean? But I look at it like the money that you'll save, you'll be able to put that money to the side, save that money up in case anything were to go wrong, and then you'll have, you know, a nest egg essentially, because you're only going to pay a fraction of what you pay now. But I just can't see myself covering all of the expenses, being that there is a child that you're bringing in and you are getting aid and financial aid from someone else. I feel like if that financial toll could actually be on him, whatever he's giving you per month, maybe that's what you pay as far as the child, to bring your child along with me. I mean, I know you're not wanting to have him keep your child.
No.
So I'm saying I definitely want to get to know your child. I don't have a problem with loving your child at all, but in the beginning I want to protect myself as well. You know, I'm sure that that's probably not something that, like you said, is easy to hear. You know, a lot of men will say that a woman don't have value because she has a child. I don't believe that. You know, but I do believe that there's a difference though when between a woman who has a child and one that doesn't. And so I believe a woman who does have a child needs to understand, you know, what life would look like for a woman who has a child. You know, you're just not a woman that doesn't have a child anymore. You know, it doesn't mean that you're not of value to the man you had the child with. You're absolutely valuable. You know, you're who created that. Who he created that magic with, and he'll probably always protect you and have your best interest in heart because of that child. But to another man, he has to build that with you. And you've already, you know, built that with somebody else. Doesn't keep you from building it with me, but I want to build that with you. So hopefully we can. I want you to let me know. Maybe you don't decide today.
Well, I can tell you that I definitely wasn't expecting this to be the conversation, and I need some time to think, because as much as you are traditional, so am I, and I truly have a little bit of difficulty digesting that my child makes the difference in my access to a traditional life, and I don't know how I feel about it.
I understand. Well, until then, let's try and lighten the mood and eat, have some good times. How about
Sounds
it?
good.
Tell you what, I believe we can really be happy, so you just let a brother know.
I certainly will.
You want to make sure it ain't poison?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
I forgot to put the lemon on there too.
My goodness, that was amazing. It's so refreshing.
I love the chill like that.
So good.